I wanted to do this video as kind of a discussion with a friend, just to share some information. I wrote something like a script to keep it short and to the point, and I'll put several links in the description below. So Mongolian is written in Cyrillic, just like Russian. The Latin alphabet and Cyrillic alphabet are both based on the Greek alphabet. So first we have A, B, C, D. Next we have alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. In modern Greek, beta is now pronounced vita, and delta is pronounced velta. So in the Russian Cyrillic alphabet, the beta is pronounced like a V, but the delta is still pronounced like a D. The Russian B is somewhat similar to the number 6, so I kind of propose Russian B6 as a mnemonic device. The Mongolian pronunciations differ in some ways, but they're generally consistent. The first word I chose was N, meaning this. The last letter is silent for a reason. The next word is neg, meaning 1. If we compare with the inflected form, the oblique case, the word is changed to neging. Putting the silent vowel in the first word shows us that the N is not pronounced like an NG ending. The next word is ter, a genderless third-person pronoun. You'll notice that the Cyrillic R looks like our letter P, which is also like Greek, where we use their letter P or pi to determine the diameter or area of a circle. The first-person pronoun is B. I guess it's just that. It's simple enough, I guess. The word aj seems to be short for the word agir. Maybe a better translation is industry. We do have the soft J sound in English, like in a word like measure or treasure. We just don't have a specific letter for it like Cyrillic does. But then the Mongolian L is kind of like this soft J sound and an L sound combined. So the word bozh sounds almost like the English word bulge. It serves as a topic marker, like in this example. Batbozh Mongolsh. So I guess it's pretty much you declare the topic and then you describe it. I want to compare that with the markers in Japanese or Korean. It seems like that happens a lot in these kind of languages with the verb at the end of the sentence. Okay, some words with similar spellings. We have jilj, meaning year, although there seems to be a similar term on, but I don't really know the difference. This next word is a mouthful. I'm trying to say ulj, meaning state or country. So in Cyrillic, what we call letter C is an S. There's this word sar, meaning month or moon, kind of depending on context. I thought there might be a pattern since I found the word nar, meaning sun. When I looked further, I find this word öder, meaning day, and then I found schöne, meaning night. Side note, these weird O's are a frontal vowel sound, so we don't really have an approximate. They usually compare this to words like bird or third, but I might be saying it wrong myself. At this point I realize it's enough letters to cover the basic greeting. Sangbenu. It's a weird thing because I watched a video and I would read that as sang bine but I swear, like in the video, it sounded like they always pronounce that as sang and bane. So I can't be sure. It could be like a dialect thing. It could be like a regional dialect or something. So a literal translation is pretty much good, there is, and then a vocalized question marker. As again, it seems like languages like this, they have a word that it's like actually saying question mark after a sentence. From that word bine, I thought I would look at some other conjugations to see what Mongolian verbs are like. I looked at that, and then I looked at the pronouns. And it seems like there's not many grammar rules to worry about. Like, you don't have to worry too much about gender or plurality. But I did notice Mongolian has that formality of speaking to someone in the plural with that word ta, which is just like a lot of European languages. So all those red words there don't have an entry on Wiktionary, unfortunately. But I did look at the words that were available. Ent harandabine. So ent means here, and it seems pretty similar to the first word we did, en, meaning this. Maybe it has some kind of locative properties. Therefore we know haranda means pencil, and the double vowel at the end of that word just shows to emphasize that syllable. Next we have tant munga baine. Tond seems to be the word ta with some kind of suffix or marker attached to the end of it. And Munga gave me the literal translation of silver. This might be more literally like saying, is there money on you? Is there money at you? Something like that. For past tense I found, bi ochigdor tend baisan. Açıkdor seems to be some word combined with the word day, öder. Tend, meaning there, is similar to the previous word end, meaning here. So there's definitely some kind of relationship there. I looked up a few phrases on WikiTravel, but they used this italicized form of Cyrillic, which might be confusing, so I rewrote it in the same blocky format I used here. First I have Chi Angliar Yaridagu. Chi means you, Angliar means English, and U is a question marker, so Yaridag must mean speak. Bi Mangajar Yarij Chadachgui. Yarij looks a lot like Yaridag, so definitely means speak. I couldn't find them at all on Wiktionary, but I would assume Chadachgui is some kind of word meaning cannot. So I put them into Google Translate and basically got the confirmation I was looking for. If I go back to the conjugation chart, you can see gui at the end of every negative verb. When I put that into Wiktionary, it seemed like I was right, and it showed me this other word, ugui. When I looked up ugui, it seems to be pretty much the opposite of bane. It means there is not. And it also serves as the no in a simple yes-no question. From all I've seen, Mongolian is less documented than other languages. There will be fewer resources than you would find with French or German, but it is pretty interesting, and learning does seem pretty doable. Understanding Mongolian might actually be a pretty rare and marketable talent. I have a couple more things just to bring the video to a close. When I was looking at the IPA key, a lot of the vowels end up sounding the same, so I wouldn't worry too much about the exact pronunciation. There are some pretty strange things about the pronunciation if you go check out the IPA key. When I checked out this web page on grammar, I noticed for the first time how the traditional script works. So here is telling you the object of a verb is going to take an ending like e or ye, and the way those two markers are written is pretty similar. It looks to me like one is e and the other one is e written twice. Below that was the genitive or possessive marker, and with the first two I can definitely see that same u symbol. And in the second two, I can definitely see the same N ending on them. It also had this dative locative marker, and on the first two, you can definitely see the only difference is that first character. I imagine the third one would just be attached directly onto a word instead of written as a separate word. This makes me think traditional script wouldn't be too hard to learn. You'd just learn a few words at a time as you're learning the language in general. Because the Cyrillic is definitely easier and more important to learn. So I definitely want to go further with this stuff in the future. For now, I put a bunch of links in the description box. And I really hope this video was helpful and interesting for both my friend and anyone else that might have come across it.